We are live.
Hello.
Hello. I really look forward to these Wednesdays. And you know, I just thought of this today. It comes during hump day. And, you know, right in the middle of the week, you know.
Wednesdays. Yeah,
really,
I like that.
It really helps the rest of the week smooth out because, you know, I can talk about energy medicine all the time. So.
No, we do look forward, and we always have a very interesting conversation together before
we
being
go live.
Trying to be on time with just 5 minutes.
Yeah, we're on French time and CPT time, colored people time.
I didn't know that expression.
You don't know that expression. And you put the different, you can go CJ time, like Central, JPT, or I have friends that are Hispanic, they go HPT, Hispanic people time, Black people time. Anyway,
I like the Mediterranean time.
I guess we should say 11-ish, right?
Give us those 5 extra minutes. So hello, everybody.
Hello, everybody. Who's joined? Someone's joined so far. Mrs. Diva. Hey, Auntie, how are you? Lonnie Lyons. Hi, welcome.
And I have hello, my friend that I can see from here.
So today we're talking about grounding and cleansing. We're talking about grounding and cleansing. And grounding is a word, or being grounded is a word that kind of gets thrown around, I think, lately.
Nice, yeah.
But the idea is it's a real thing. And I love your definition of what grounding is. You said the self-regulation of your nervous system. To take it to a spiritual side, it's the connection of your body, mind, spirit, the trifecta. You know, they say God, Jesus, and the Holy Spirit, like that Holy Trinity. So your body, your mind, and your spirit are all connected. And the word spirit comes from the Latin root spiritus. And spiritus means to breathe. So things that, a way you know, Eckhart Tolle talked about this in his book, The Power of Now. You know you are ungrounded when you have fear, anxiety, nervousness, antsiness, sadness. You're not in the present moment. You've disconnected. And how many people, you know, when I teach yoga class, at the end of the practice, when they get to class, they're like, I haven't been breathing all day long. And it's part of that powerful pyramid that keeps us grounded, but the self-regulation of your nervous system. I like how you wording it, and how when we talked just prior, I worded with this because how it resonate. It's the same thing. Yes. So whatever, if it's grounding, or for me, I call it self-regulation because it really talk to my inner body. Yes. And I like what you said, that pyramid. We are a whole. It's a wholeness. The pyramid is the strongest structure in all of nature. And when one of those parts is out of balance, how to ground, clean, self-regulate to put yourself more into that balance. And I like what you say about the breathing. Like lately, we all go through little phases, and that's interesting. When we say, panic attack or hard to breathe, I can feel it when something triggers me deeply. Yeah. There was last week, I was like, you know, like trying to catch. So what do we do as we were talking, and as our tools we wanted to share today? Yeah, our tools to share. A simple thing is if you're sitting, is to plant your feet. Now I have to give Mimi Mehta credit for this. She's Reiki. She's a Reiki master. But to plant your feet. So if you're sitting, plant your feet. But she taught us just to stand even. You know, you just come to standing in your feet. In yoga, we call this Tadasana, or mountain pose. When you think of a mountain has a peak. It's strong. It's huge. But you plant your feet and you literally just say your name. You know, just saying, so I am, pulls you back literally on a visceral level. So that I've been doing that practice more now, coming into the new year, and a couple things have happened to me in this month of January that's made me feel ungrounded, disconnected to myself. So when my feet hit the floor now, I just stand and I say my name the 3 times, and the 4th time, I am. And our names are given names. We talked about this at the retreat. In the Kabbalah, discipline. Kabbalah, the whole Hebrew language, is based on numbers. Numbers are very powerful. So our name means something very powerful. So in numerology is kind of concerned with different aspects, but in Kabbalah, the numerology in Kabbalah is about your name and who you are, who you came here to be. Our names all have power, and even though sometimes we don't like the name we were given, when you trace back its meaning and you look deeper, you're like, wow, it was like a match. It wasn't just our parents say, oh, I just came up with it, or I saw it in a book. It's not happenstance.
Interesting. Thank you.
So what do you, when you had that feeling, what did you do to ground? What did you do to bring yourself back?
So on a daily basis, and like you say, when we have those intense moments that always come. It's life. I am aware. So I'm like, why? I'm not going well, and if I'm not doing anything, I'm going to go down that darker place. First thing I do, walk. This is, I many times say it, but I stop. If I'm in my car, or I need to go somewhere, I park far away, or I go to a park, I go back to nature. I would say my number one thing is walk in nature. That's my daily thing when I need to be like really cleansing or grounding, self-regulating, and engaging those deeper breathing, like you say, because
nature forces you to breathe because you're inhaling in the beauty. Exactly. I think that's why they always say get out in nature, because you can't see the majesty of a tree or these beautiful flowers without like wanting to take that next breath. Yeah, I love that.
And then your walk, wherever you can do, or run, it will engage that breathing, because I'm going for a while. So I'm like, suddenly it's that quiet mind I need to find again.
But you're also releasing through your pores.
Yes.
Sweating. Movement is medicine. And I was thinking about this the other day. I was like, a lot of people, because I went back to the crystal deodorant. I don't use any of the
right.
And a lot of people say, oh, I can't use it because I'm going to stink. Well, you do go through an interesting period where it's not the freshest. However, we're supposed to smell when we sweat. I mean, we're you don't want to be offensive, but I passed through a moment of it, but now it works because it's natural. It's something that I chose to do. But I thought, how weird is it people sweat, but they don't want to stink? It's a cleansing. The stench, the smell is that stuff leaving your body. Right?
And when last week was intense for me, I started walking, and I don't use neither. I do natural, my self-washing. I sweated, and it was smelling. But that means my body on top of it needed to detox whatever, probably the accumulation of December and, the good food.
Our adrenals are under our armpits, big, huge area for adrenal glands. So
and it means your body needs, again, to cleanse and release. So it's just let it out. Another thing I do, which I'm going in 2 days, is a sauna. If you have the place for a dry sauna or wet sauna, again, sweating. So
welcome, EBU Beauty is in the house. Ooh, Spirit Blue Moon joined. Thank you, Steve, health coach. Welcome, everybody.
Nice.
We're talking about grounding. But the steam. But like the steam, the heat, releasing the pores, because there's things like we're dealing with. Everything is a form of energy. Every single thing. I don't understand how science says this is just a bunch of molecules mashed together. I don't have the comprehension. I can't. This is a molecule. We are a molecule. Everything here is just a smash of molecules. I don't understand it, but I believe it. So if we know that everything in life is a form of energy, we have to understand that it's always affecting us in different ways. So it's important that we're always coming back to self-regulating and back to our own center. Life is made to pull us apart and to come at us and to have unhinged moments and things happen. We have to pass through these things. But what is what I'm noticing, people aren't taking care to mitigate it. So sometimes you can meditate and think things away, but sometimes you got to do physical, external practices. So we'll get into that a little bit.
Yes, a combination, and to your point, it's what works. I mean, try thing out. Like maybe we're going to show you
So I have
tools again.
I have some tools here.
And the one that really resonate and help you in those moments. And
Well,
on
one of the
daily.
things I want
what
to give
is
credit. I want to give credit to Energy Muse. If you're not following them, they're on Instagram. They have a website. I have learned so much from Heather Aquinois. They have been doing the work, and they are doing the work, and they're holding it down. So she did a 21-day thing. Was it a 10-day? Every morning at 8 a.m. She's a crystal maven. I learned a lot about the crystalline energy and metaphysics from her. One of the things she says, we're not cleansing daily enough. So for these 21 days, me and some friends got up with her every morning at 8 a.m. Selenite. If you do not have selenite in your repertoire, selenite. So every day she took us through a method. This is so simple because your chakras are your energy center. Everything runs through the chakras. So she would have us cleanse our crown with selenite. Cleanse your third eye, your throat, your heart, and you go down through the chakra, and then your whole body. You're really cleansing your whole energy field, because our energy field is an arm's distance above our heads, this wide, and a foot below your feet. So literally moving this around, and I know it seems like magic, but I'm telling you, it was amazing. Selenite is known for its cleansing properties, to cleanse crystals, but also our energy field. And so selenite is an immediate way to ground. Like I have this on my desk. You grab it, you hold on to it. It's unbelievable for that. So I want to credit her for that. So I've returned to that. I'm like, why did I ever stop? It takes me 1 minute to sweep through and go through with that. So that was one of them.
And no, great. So you use selenite. And again, if you don't have it, it's the same concept.
Yes.
You do your daily movement, which we show in the full circle.
Yes.
Movement of your hip, infinity 8, movement of your shoulder.
Exactly.
And again, all those tools we show
You're
when
calling
you come
back
to it.
your own energy.
You're calling back your sacred space as
yes,
well.
I love that.
Like what,
I
it
love
goes
that.
all around. And that's create as well. Self-regulation is about feeling safe within
Yes.
yourself.
Yes.
So that safety, you're recreating a good safety, and you're empowering your physical body to be strong for you.
And you know,
Good.
I
Thank
think
you.
people know by now about sage and Palo Santo. One of the things about sage, it honestly is being a little overmined. I learned from a Native American that we really, ideally, we would be cultivating and picking it ourselves. So if it's possible, you want to pick, but
I do.
I'm guilty of this too, of overusing it. Literally, this amount will cleanse a whole room. So when I come into the space now, I take about a leaf's worth and I go through mindfully and intentionally. Palo Santo means sacred wood. They just strip the bark off of a tree. Again, another cleansing.
Yes.
But I want to say another thing too. If you don't have any of this stuff, any of these tools we're talking about, your hands.
Nice.
Your hands. Same thing. You take your own hands. You rub your own energy together. You're powerful. You put your hands and you use your own hands. So if you don't have any tools, any crystals, any sage, any Palo Santo, your hands are powerful. We're not the only ones. Just you do cranial sacral therapy. I do Jitsu therapy, but it comes back to our own energy. So just even calling back your own energy, pulling it literally with your own hands will help you feel grounded.
Yes. And like I say, my primary thing is walking in nature or, hiking. And then I find myself massaging area of my body while I walk. I take a little pause and go to those places that needs your attention, your awareness, and you're going to find naturally your body is going to move and recreate that feel that you need just by itself with free
So you don't
movement.
just walk like a robot. I see
No.
people, they're just
No.
walking on their walk. They're just so focused instead of
And
taking
I'm
that
sorry
moment
to
as a
say,
sacred act.
I see people and do whatever it's convenient. When I walk, I have no phone, no music. I'm directly connected to that dimension. No electronic. I have my phone in my backpack
In case something
But
happens,
look,
right?
before I used to walk without anything. What I do is, because there's coyote, I take a stone and it's mineral. And I walk with a stone in my hand in case, I don't know, I feel maybe safe. The other day I'm like, I'm just throwing it on. There's no coyotes where I walk that day. But look, it's your routine.
Yes.
And walk be with yourself for a moment and clearing it and regaining your
And I think
like
we
you
need to
said.
talk about why you need to clear, because some people are like, oh, I'm happy, I'm doing good, I'm doing well. We go to the dentist twice a year in the perfect world and you get a deep cleaning and they clear out all the plaque. People have to understand that plaque develops whether you want it to or not in your energy system, in your field of energy. We, 6 feet apart was good. We don't walk around 6 feet anymore. So this buster that's standing here next to you that you don't know may not energetically align with your energy. So we're collecting, our energy field gets clogged up. And we are in a time where things are so crazy around the world. There's still a lot of sadness and death and murder of children. It's just unconscionable. So in order to be the light, we have to cleanse our own bubbles. You think about it, and I think about Michael Jackson. He went a little Lulu, but that whole thing of him creating that bubble to protect his energy. I was just like, it's kind of Lulu, but I kind of understood the guy because he was a sensitive and he could feel stuff coming at him. So the thing is, make it like brushing your teeth, stacking the habits of what you're doing. So one of the habits that I stack, I stand and I say, I am Astrid Marie Mitchell. I am Astrid. I say my name.
Yes.
And then I take the selenite wand and I clear, because our dreams bring about toxins.
That's a good point. That's
right?
a good point. Yes. And when
especially when you've had a restless sleep a night, you've been under, I hate to use the word attack, but your central nervous system has passed through as if it really happened. So you have to cleanse for that. So in the morning, I take the selenite, I go through and cleanse.
Yes, and the dream, it's you are actually going through emotion, subconscious, and all of that. So morning you wake up and you're like, whoa, what happened? And again, good. That's another good point.
Just even cleansing from your own, because dreaming and thinking, like, I'm a big meditator, and one of the things that people say, oh, I can't meditate because I can't stop thinking. We're actually supposed to, when you're new to meditation practice, is to think. You're purging. You're in a healing state. So all those thoughts, all those unresolved thoughts and thinking are made to percolate. So you're going to think, right?
Yes.
What else do
and
you
I like
do?
what you said. I am with people nearly every day on the massage table.
Yes.
And I have moments where I'm like, no, I'm good. I've learned to really do my work with not picking up on what I don't need to. But I think, to your point, when I'm not well, and then the accumulation of the things, because maybe I didn't ground myself enough, then it's adding up. So a daily routine is like anything. You're drinking water every day, a little bit every day. You're brushing your teeth. I like that when you say that comparison.
No, seriously.
It's just so you keeping that healthy, safe field, bubble, whatever you want to call it. And then you can have more energy to interact.
And not to find it wrong that it gets clogged up.
Right.
I mean, we live in a high smog in Southern California. We pay a dear price for the sun here. But it's inevitable. Exhaust from cars, you know, it's electromagnetic fields that happen. Our watches, our electronics. Like you said, I don't take electronics on a walk. Like you have it for safety in the backpack. But yeah, getting over the fact that I feel like sometimes people say, oh, I went and got my chakras cleared and they grounded me. You're not done.
I like it.
Yay, that happened. But you have to, it's a continuum, and it's not to be negative, but our ancestors knew this. They used to go like, you know, cold water therapy, these ice baths. How do you think our ancestors bathed? They bathed in ice cold water.
And you know, look, that was another good tool we can talk. People, you know, with what is his name? Wim Hof, like cold water, cold shower. It's great. I used to do it when I was younger in France, you know, I mean, for different reasons. After the war, it's like, save the water, which is good, you know, don't put water. But you know how good energy brings you back when you put
ramps up your whole central nervous system and resets it, right?
Yes, put your feet in cold.
Put your feet. Water is another tool, you know.
What else do we have?
Himalayan salt.
Okay.
You know that salt, some cultures believe sprinkling salt around a perimeter or an area protects, but pink Himalayan salt, you can use it as an exfoliant.
Yes.
I know my spiritual teachers have always told me at least once a month, cleanse with sea salt, Himalayan salt, black salt, because your pores get congested too.
Nice. And I use that or Epsom salt.
Or Epsom salt, exactly. But salt is amazing.
Nice. Clay, if you can, as well as you shower.
I think I've shown.
Clay.
I don't know if I've shown these before. Maybe I showed it on my moon lives, but sage or Palo Santo spray. Wake up, spray your environment. I'll do this sometimes too. One of the products I want to call out, and this is the Flower Apothecary.
Right.
I don't even think you know about this product. It's called Crystal Clear. It is amazing. It clears, purifies, and cleanses crystals, people, and the spaces of non-beneficial energy. I love that word. Instead of negative energy, non-beneficial energy. And she's Lemuria is where it comes from. So I spray this when I'm working with a client in between movements. Like if I start with their face or head, I spray it in between before I move on to the other. I spray it around the room. But this is amazing. This Crystal Clear is amazing. Incense. Some people like to burn incense.
Another way, yes.
Another way to kind of purify your environment.
Your copal.
My absolute favorite, and I feel very zhuzhy. I feel very witchy. And
and I have your little cadron. And it's nice when I do it because I connect with yours and I have the same. You're having it here in your boutique.
Yeah, I have a few of these left there. It really is a candle.
Yes.
And once the candle burns down, you get this beautiful kettle. And it's heavy, like cast iron.
Yes, so you can burn things.
And you can burn, take your mini charcoal. And then I love copal. I love copal. Copal is great. But I also love these resins that I get from, again, free advertising for them. House of Intuition. They make the most beautiful candles and resins.
Nice.
So these have resins in them as well as herbs and woods, and they just do such a beautiful job. So you see this, we burn these in our full circle. Exactly. We're always running the kettle around to clear the energy field. And I have to say, this is almost like this is definitely a feng shui method. Sound, bells, energy. Bells will chase away negative energy and clear an enery field. And
it's a nice sound. If you find, I have one at home as well.
I put this over people's head, but like music helps to ground and clear.
Yes.
What else can we think of? Cars.
Lately, like you say, you might not have all those tools or nothing or create your own. I love those ones. Those little self-care, you know. It's good to do it. Usually in the morning, I try to pick one, and it's kind of your momentum for the day, or there's one word that will resonate and makes you feel like, okay, that's a good way to put my thoughts today.
It's almost like reminding you of, because the idea behind cards and oracle is that it is you, not some external force, that's picking that card.
You're in
It's
charge.
a message from your higher self, that higher lens, that is always coming from a place of love and space.
Yes.
And the cards, when you pull it, it tells you it's something on the inside that even you might need to look at as well, right?
Yes, because there's always some word that will resonate, like a poem, like something you're reading today. And for me, when I have those those intense thoughts because something trigger, it brings me back to simplicity, to not having those intense belief or thought that will go too much. So again, grounding, self-regulating, how you are. I love those one. Another one I use is because again, your hands
You're
are
tactile,
power. I'm
yeah.
tactile. If you don't know that now, it's because you don't know me. I would go and touch my body and touch some places, and that brings me back to this physical body where you feel safe. It's your
Because it's
powerful,
your touch. You know what's appropriate.
and you know what is appropriate, and you're going to do like the breathing the other day.
So this has...
And I was like, touching my lungs, and
So this is in
opening.
French, but it's about...
Acupressure,
Okay.
like you
mhm,
do,
like I do.
acupressure. So it's they show you points of where if you have an issue, there are the points on your body to self-regulate, to massage,
like
to
even-
circle. Very simple.
And this...
And if you don't, yes,
going back to the heart and like self-regulating, this is one from acupressure. Just putting your fingers like this.
your thorax. Yeah,
Is that the thorax?
yeah, and
This
and open
is
and,
a natural sedative, and this will bring you back. I mean, if you can't take a walk, again, find ways to just get your hands on your body. Remember your grandmother, when you weren't feeling well, they would come up behind you, she put her hand on your belly and your forehead to test you. She'd come from behind and be like, she put her lips on your forehead to feel if you had fever. But what did they do? They came to your solar plexus, your belly, and your forehead.
and your forehead and your
And
and
these
it's
are
very
powerful.
cozy. And this is good. Yes, put your hands wherever you feel you need it the most. This is again, if you put even in the front or in the back,
The back
front
of it,
or
yeah.
in the back, you are engaging your craniosacral system. So your cerebrospinal fluid is a renew and a detox. It goes down your spinal cord, and that brings you back to yourself again, and you're detoxing your within this center.
So the takeaway today is try to find a way to incorporate. It's not enough just to do it every week, every month. Try to find a way to do one thing daily that reconnects you and grounds you back to your field of energy. And I also, again, think we're living in very interesting and uncertain times. Expect that, plan that uncertainty in. Plan the, you want to go right, but the day has you going left. If you expect that, then you no longer get so reactive to things that come at you. But cleansing is real. Again, we shower, we know the importance of cleansing, but we stop just on the physical level. We have to think environmentally. We have to think emotional cleansing. Maybe it's like, here's my physical, my mental, my emotional cleansing for the day. And it's just stacking the habits. It takes a minute to put this on our plate and on our schedules. Like, I have a good yoga and meditation, mudra, mantra practice, but I struggle with the physical clearing. So then again, coming into this year, that program I did with Heather for 21 days, I'm cynical. I'm cynical. I'm looking for the data.
Exactly.
And the data for me is doing it for myself, having the direct experience. So when I experience just running selenite all through my system, I'm like, this stuff is real.
That's what you needed the most. Yes. Yes. So daily practice, and it took me, when I started all of that 25 years ago, I was like you say, it's good to be skeptical. What's the name?
Skeptical.
Skeptical in oh god, and it's good because it's your way of like, I've never done that. Should I do it?
But you have to
Just
validate it for
and
yourself.
try, and like anything, it's a daily practice. 5 minutes. So it's like a little homework. Just say to yourself 5 minutes a day. We all can have those 5 minutes a day, and then it becomes a habit. Habit takes at least 21 days. It takes at least 21.
To even start to even move towards connecting.
Yes.
But honestly, it takes a year for it to stick.
To be
A new synapses in your
yes,
brain.
Yes.
But the thing is,
yeah.
just wake up every day. Like in these terms, one of the things that saved me, I forgot her name. I think she's that wrote the book 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Her name is escaping me, but she says, I do my daily practices every day, most days.
Good. And I like it. And that's another one. Don't judge yourself because that day you didn't do it, but you're going to do it the next day.
Just keep beginning again and again and again.
Thank you.
Cleanse and ground yourself. Are we missing anything? Monthly body work.
That's
movement.
breathe.
Posture. Massage.
I
Water.
do monthly body work for myself because another way of having that self-care and that cleansing and that moment for yourself.
Absolutely.
Journal, I like last time
journaling,
we talked about that.
Yes.
Again, for me, the journal, maybe I don't write it, or I write that word that I find with my card, and I go with that word through the day.
As a talisman
Wherever
for you.
You are doing it, how you're doing it, it's fine. Good.
In closing,
yes.
We're back to our full circle.
Yes.
And so this next full circle will be on February 8th. We hope you can join us. It's a drop-in event. You don't have to make any extraneous plans. You don't have to reach out to us in advance. But we're celebrating the new moon in Aquarius. Ooh, it's going to be great. Aquarius is one of my favorite signs. I called out in the last Moonology that Aquarius is considered one of the smartest signs in the zodiac. They're number one for a reason, and we're going to break that down. We do restorative yoga as part of the practice to close it out. But these circles, that's another way to ground yourself. When two or more are gathered, shift occurs, right?
Yes.
And
the groups support you. We support each other. Again, we're showing those
hold the space. People hold the space. It's just beautiful. I'm proud. It's something like these talks and that circle are two things I'm very proud, because we are both really, truly dedicated and committing to helping people on their paths, right?
And they help us.
Being of service. No, we get it. It's a bonus. The bonus is we get healed. When I'm doing an acupressure session, as I'm with someone, first of all, I'm always blown away that they allow me to have put my energy within, that they trust me.
I love that.
And I just say, thank you, God. And I just feel so much reverence, because when you give a treatment, you get a treatment.
And this trust they give us is beautiful.
It blows my mind.
The next circle, is at 7:15.
Oh, 7:15
We
p.m.
change a little time, but 7:15 is good.
Yeah, 7:15.
And we're doing a good hour and a half, so please come. It's a power once a month.
The time passes; it flies by.
Right, and the next live will be in 2 weeks.
On Valentine's Day. What are we going to talk about then?
Yes. At 11-ish.
Yes. 2:14 is our next energy medicine talk. Thank you, Katya.
Thank you, Astrid.
For another great conversation. I really appreciate it. Thank you to everybody who joined and who will listen in and see this video.
Yes,
have a great rest of the week, everybody. Namaste.
À bientôt.
À bientôt.
Thank
à tout à l'heure.